Are you interested in live shopping, specifically over on Amazon with Amazon Live Shopping? Well, today on episode 99 of the Launch Your Live show, we're going to be talking about Amazon Live, what you need to know to get started. We're going to walk you through pretty much everything you need to know to start offering live shopping over on Amazon's product detail pages. So I'm going to come and say a quick hello. How we doing, everyone? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Sorry, we had a few technical difficulties getting started, so we're a few minutes late this time. But it's fantastic seeing you all again, helping you on your live streaming journey. You got to remember, by the way, everybody starts the journey at different points. So it doesn't matter if this is your first time streaming or you've been streaming over, to multiple platforms for a while. Everybody starts at different points. Everybody moves at different speeds. But the key thing you got to remember is just to keep doing it. It gets easier. There are always going to be little technical glitches, gremlins, things like that. They're always going to happen. For example, this week, when I just went live a second ago, I actually didn't get it pushed out to Amazon Live somehow. So I was a little delayed getting started. But again, it's so great seeing you. For those of you who are listening to episode 99 of the Launch Your Live show on your favorite podcasting software, if you want to follow along with us, just go to launchyour.live/EP99. That's going to get you over to the Amazon Live version of this, the video. And then this way we can, you can see all the stuff that we're going to be showing and talking about and whatnot. But without further ado, I'm going to go and bring on Marco Novo. Marco has been co-hosting with me for Launch Your Live when we've been doing all these Amazon shows. So Marco, it's great seeing you. How you doing?
Hello. So good to be here again. It's cold here.
Oh, it's cold here too. But so that's a good thing, right? So here's the thing. It's cold, which probably means that people are going to spend more time indoors, which means
yes,
chances are they're going to spend some time over on Amazon. They're going to be looking up how to actually they're going to probably look up certain products, maybe looking at some of the other streamers. By the way, for those of you don't know, I have 10 plus years actually working in e-commerce as well. So, it's an area that's, very near and dear to my heart. So I love talking about online shopping, been involved in it for quite a long time, actually. So on this week's show, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about how to get you started with Amazon Live. And so I want to start off with just a couple quick questions for people. And that's, are you familiar with QVC or Home Shopping Network, HSN? This is basically where, it was typically on like late night on TV, and you tune into it and you'd have somebody on the show who would be showcasing a product. Like, let's just say it was a vacuum cleaner. They're on the show, using the vacuum cleaner, showing how like it can clean up, spilled candy and pet hair, and if you need to vacuum the couch, things like that, right? So it was a great show for you to demonstrate things. And the way it worked was, if you wanted to buy things, you could typically go to their website. But for the most part, it was a call-in show. So you call in, they take your order over the phone, and then it gets shipped out to you. Now, the thing was, you had to be like a TV producer. You had to be somebody involved, on the product side to be able to do this sort of thing. And so this is where like Amazon has really sort of captured that market. And I think it's the fact that now anyone can do this. They can do those live product demonstrations. Isn't that right, Marco?
Yes, indeed. It's something that Amazon democratized. Oh my God. And the other good thing is, if, for instance, for me, even though I'm located in Portugal,
Yeah,
I'm also allowed to go live on Amazon, even though there are a few Europeans there. But
yeah.
it's a good thing. Okay, so and it's not hard to go live. We don't need a TV studio and all this stuff. So that's a good thing, going live on Amazon and providing information about products to our audiences.
Definitely, yeah. And so that's it's really good to hear that you're able to still go live there, by the way, because for a lot of people, they're probably wondering, well, hey, you know what? Where do I need to be to actually get started with this? So again, QVC or HSN. So today we're talking about how to get started with Amazon Live Shopping. So Marco, you and I have been doing this. We've been at this for a while. And so what I want to do is I want to walk them through what the steps are that they need to do to offer live shopping. So, but before we do that, we need to make sure people understand what live shopping is, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, I gave the example of QVC or Home Shopping Network. If you're not, for example, in the United States where you have those kinds of shows, I mean, as I mentioned, that's essentially you could, if you've got any kind of show like that on your own stations, it's essentially just like that. And so live shopping basically it's a way for people to let's see how can I put it, Marco? Like people can basically talk about like you could be on Amazon and let's say you're doing a cooking demonstration. Instead of doing your cooking demonstration and pre-recording it, and then like putting it up on YouTube or places like that, what you basically are able to do is you're able to have a camera open, stream your cooking station to the world, or in this case, to all your social platforms. And then during that, you could offer products or mention products that you are using to accomplish your cooking demonstrations. For example, it could be like if you're doing a cooking demonstration, it might be the pots and pans that you're using, the apron, the types of towels. If you've got a certain spatula or a pair of tongs that you're using, those are all things that you can talk about on your live shopping show. So basically, it's a way for people to watch and buy at the same time. And they're
Yes.
able to get that expertise from people, for example, like Marco and myself. So that's live shopping in a nutshell. So what I want to do, Marco, is I want to turn it over to you. Number two, who is live shopping for?
Well, I think I can say this. If you have a web camera, if you have a microphone, a good web camera, a good microphone, a good internet connection, and this is something that for me it's important. You know something about a topic which could have products related so you can sell them. Because one of the good things about live shopping, which on TV shows we don't have, it's the possibility to interact with in real time with the people who are watching or who are doing the show,
Yeah.
so we can
Mhm.
ask questions about the products, how we can use it, some what is good and what is not that good, and giving some tips about it. And I think this is the main difference between TV shows and internet shows about live shopping. Okay, so have this in mind,
Yeah.
that you should know something about what you're talking about, not just saying okay and read the characteristics of the product.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because also have in mind, and this I think it's really important, about being entertaining as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this leads to the other thing. If you don't know it's like karaoke. I don't know if you ever
Karaoke.
made
Yeah. Mhm.
karaoke,
Nope.
Chris,
Didn't do
but
it.
the first times when you don't know the lyrics, you don't you cannot give that entertainment to the thing, because you're reading the song so you can make it properly. And then when you know really good the lyrics, then you can go a little bit more deep into the entertaining side. So this
Okay.
is something that you should have in mind, because if you are boring presenting your products, maybe it won't work really well. So have that in mind when you start your journey.
And so that's actually a point. Yeah. So in terms of who live shopping is for, anyone can do it. It just comes down to how good you are as a presenter or an entertainer, as we want to call it. So, a presenter and entertainer. The other side to it also is that it really doesn't matter what industry you're in. You do have to figure out how you can offer live shopping on Amazon. And I don't mean like how to set it up. I mean, does your show fit with the products you're talking about? For example, this show, like we're talking about how to set up Amazon Live. So, for example, we may not bring in the typical products we would think we'd bring in. So, what we've done is we focused on like the hardware and the audio equipment, the microphones, the headphones, all that kind of stuff that you would use for Amazon Live. But what we didn't do is, for example, like we didn't go into like, oh, just throwing a whole bunch of products in there. We try to be very selective about what the episode is about. You have to remember, not every episode is going to fit Amazon Live. So that's the other thing. Like, so for example, like a cooking demonstration, awesome. You're going to do an unboxing video, fantastic. You're going to show somebody how to set something up. If those products are on Amazon, awesome. Some things that, may not work very well. For example, if you've got like an author, you could interview an author and talk about their book, but you may not have other products to necessarily talk about as well. So you got to remember, like, how long would that show be? So that might be an interview where you feature a book, but you may not necessarily have a lot of other things to feature that are relevant to that. The other thing, though, also to kind of consider would be, again, just making sure really your industry has something to offer. And this is what I would say. If you're, for example, let's say you're into fishing, Amazon offers products like fishing rods and, lures and vests and all that kind of stuff. Like, they offer all that stuff. So it might naturally transition into a good Amazon Live show. But for example, are there things on Amazon that you don't think would work, Marco?
I think it depends in the mood you because we see people talking about almost everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's the way you do the show, because for instance, there are products about pets and something that could be an entertaining kind of show, and they are so boring. They are just talking and talking and talking.
Yeah.
And, and this, I think it depends a lot in the presenter. Okay. It's not that much in the product, but mostly in the tone you're presenting and also the knowledge, of course, because if you go to Amazon just reading the technical information about the product in the products page, and Amazon it's trying to remove that kind of approach. Okay, so if you just do that, I'm pretty sure that it will be hard. But in the opposite side, and there's this good thing.
Okay.
If you do live shopping on your own store, you need to own everything you're having there. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
You need to have stock. You need to have everything.
Mm-hmm.
On Amazon, you don't, and this is something important. It's kind of risk-free for you.
Yeah, it is sort of risk-free. Yeah. So no, you're absolutely right. So again, anyone can do it. You do just, to find the things that work, you got to be entertaining, and you got to have, like, you do have to own some of the products, but you got to be entertaining, and you got to be able to also be informative as well. Know the product. You don't have to know it inside and out, but you do want to be able to talk about, like, for example, hey, what's this product? Like, why do I need this, like the Rode Wireless Go over, like, a regular headset, for example? Like, you don't have to have, like, this is like, Apple EarPods. Like, you don't need to know, like, exactly why you need to have it, but you need to be able to sell, like, you're a salesman, basically. You got to know why somebody might want that product, for example, because you are going to get questions from your community. They're going to ask you, for example, like, hey, you know what? Can you answer, like, oh, should I get the first version or the second version of this? Or, hey, I want to do this with that product. Can I do that? So you do have to keep that stuff in mind in terms of, like, what you would talk about. But again, just about anyone can join. Okay. So Marco, let's get into topic number 3 here on Amazon. So what do you need to stream on Amazon Live?
Okay. First, do you want me to talk about the bureaucratic side or the technical side? Because there's this thing. Okay, you need to apply as an Amazon associate. Okay, and this is something that you don't need to go. And this is something also important. You don't need to go live when you're associate. There's other ways to make money through affiliation on Amazon. Okay, but you need to be an affiliate or an associate to apply to the Amazon Creator program. Okay, so you can go live. So this is something a 2-step process. Okay, first you need to apply, and it's easy to do it. Okay. And then once you're associate, you need to apply to an Amazon Creator.
Okay. So obviously, so to get started, you need a couple things. You need to sign up for Amazon's associate program. I've got a link here on screen here for you. It's affiliate-program.amazon.com. So that's the first thing. You sign up there. That's going to get you into the Amazon affiliate program. Great. That's going to be where you're going to track all your Amazon sales. You're going to be able to like look at reports and see what are some of the items that you're selling the most of, for example, what kind of returns you're getting, all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be part number one. Marco also mentioned then once you sign up for that, you then are also going to have to sign up for you're going to have to download the Amazon Creator app as well. And so you're going to have to find that in your device's app store. But we do want to make sure we talk about that actually first. So what do you need to stream on Amazon? So the first thing is obviously you need an idea. You got to have a show idea that will work. You can also just test this as you're going along, but you need something that, that you can build a show off of. You are going to need to own some of the products. We'll talk about that in a second. But you sign up as the creator. The next thing you're going to need, by the way, you are going to need an iOS device. And so, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's an old iPhone or a new iPhone. You do not need the latest and greatest iPhone. For example, like, you could have iPhone 12, for example. You can have
8 here.
8. You can have the 13. You can have even the iPad. You can even have the iPad mini as well, if you want that. The other thing also, I'll bring this up is, and this is a little harder, I think, right, Marco? But you can have an iPad as well.
Yes.
So if you happen to have any sort of iPad, you need any of these iOS devices. You need an iOS device.
There's, for instance, Ryan, which co-hosts with me a show on Fridays.
Yeah.
And he's using an iPod as well.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. iPod, like an iPod Touch, or like,
I think it is the Touch. Yes.
Okay. You basically need so you need hardware wise, just base to get started. You don't even need like external cameras or mics or any of that. Sign up for the Amazon Associates program. Next thing is make sure you have an iOS device, whether that is an iPad mini or an iPhone. It doesn't have to be the latest and greatest. You cannot, at the moment, set this up from a Mac, by the way. So you do need to have an iOS device.
Or Android as well.
Right. You can't set it right. You can't set up Android, right? Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So you need to have an iOS device, but it doesn't have to be the latest and greatest.
Yes.
So don't think we're pushing Apple here. We're pushing Apple, but that's because you have to have it.
Yeah.
So just kind of keep that in mind. And then you can have pretty much any of the iOS devices. As I mentioned, it could be even, heck, personally, I actually really like the iPad mini. I think that would actually be a really good iPad to have if you get the new iPad mini. It's a little tiny one. You could set that on your desk. That way it's easy to set up and easy to also work with. But you need Amazon Associates program. You need an iOS device. And then on the iOS device, Marco, do you happen to have can you pull up a screen for me for the Amazon Creator app?
Okay, let me see.
So to stream on Amazon, you need, let's see. So you need Amazon Associates, you need iOS device. And then the third thing you're going to need to download is the Amazon Creator app. And so Marco's going to pull this up for us so we can show you what this looks like. By the way, I want to just give a quick shout out to Clarissa P, who's tuning in from Chicago. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. Hopefully you're getting some useful information out of this. So while Marco's pulling that up, so you need these 3 things bare minimum, because you have to apply to Amazon. Once you have applied to Amazon, you can then set up the iOS device. And then in order to set up the Amazon Live show, you are going to need the Amazon Creator app that Marco mentioned. Did you find it yet, Marco, or no?
I'm trying.
How about this? I actually might have it here. So let me see. I have it here, actually. Here, let me do this.
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
share it here. Yeah, actually, I'll pull it up real quick. So you're going to need this app, and this is all you got to search for in your device's app store, by the way. It's the Amazon Live Creator app. Let me move this out of the way for you all. So as you can see here, it's pretty basic. So there's the Amazon Live Creator app. So you're going to need this. And then it is available for, as I mentioned, across all iOS devices. It's a free app. You can download it. It even works on iPod Touch, by the way, all the way back to iOS 10. They're on iOS 15, by the way, right now. So, so this is the Amazon Live Creator app. You're going to need to download that as well. Okay. So let's do this, Marco. So you're going to need to get those three things. And then once you have the Amazon Live Creator app, you're going to need to apply to get approved for Amazon Live. And if you want to go through this whole process, you can simply just go to launcher.live/get Amazon Live. That's going to take you right to, so you make sure you get the right Amazon app. You can go and download it. It's launcher.live/get Amazon Live. It's going to take you right to the app. And then within the app, once you apply, this basically, think of it like this. Once you sign up for the Amazon Associates program, once you have your iOS device and you have the Amazon Creator app, and you are approved for the Amazon Creator app, that's where you spend most of your time. So you're going to be in and I think, Marco, I think you have this pulled up actually for me. Fantastic. Let me share that. So this is the Amazon, the Creator app program, basically. And so you'll just basically apply here. And so once you apply here, again, once you're approved, you're going to then be able to start streaming. Now, this is, again, you can kind of do this through the web or the mobile app, the Amazon Live Creator app. But the big thing is everything goes back to the Amazon Live Creator app. It doesn't go back to I'm doing some things on the desktop and some things on like mobile. Just about everything is done through a mobile. That's why I really suggest getting something like an iPad, whether it's, in this case, this is a big iPad. This is a little too big, actually. So that's why I said something like the mini, because basically the mini is this cut in half. So, okay. So once you got all of that, okay. So once you've got the Amazon Creator app, you're approved. It's pretty easy, isn't it, Marco, to kind of set that stuff up and get going?
Yes, it is. It is. One of the things you should have in mind, and this will save you lots of times and also will allow you to optimize your Amazon presence, is to set your store.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You should come with devices, with gear, with products that you use, that you know something about. Okay. And I recommend for you to show them, to share them with your audience. Okay. Outside Amazon, so you can get followers as well. Okay. And this is something important when we talk about Amazon, because one of the ways for you to go up in the Amazon levels, it's with the amount of followers you are generating. Okay. So you should create the store, and then you should think about what you want to talk about on your live shows, and then you should use the products. I recommend to use the products you have in your store, because I think you know better what you have there. Okay.
Yeah.
So and also it's important, if everything you owned, put it there. You can create different kind of shelves.
Yep.
And you can create, for instance, books you love, movies, gear related to your work or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Because people, even though, for instance, like us, we are focused on live streaming, I think people will love to know as well our other passions. Yes. So this could be a way to generate even more income through affiliates.
Yeah. And so one thing to keep in mind, okay, so if you just stopped right there, okay, so we set up the Amazon Live process, we applied through Associates, we did the iOS device, we installed the Creator app, we apply through the Creator app. At that point, you can start creating your Amazon Live show, no problem, right? And so they're going to let you, basically, they're going to set up a shop page for you. And that shop page, that storefront, it looks something like this. So if you go to amazon.com/shop/my name, so here, you know what? I think I can actually pull this up, right, Marco? So let me do this. Let me actually show people what this looks like. So, so if you happen to go to this page here, this is what you're going to see. So for example, I'm going to pull this up. So for example, this is my storefront that I have on Amazon. And so you're going to see, for example, you're going to see I'm live right now. You're going to also see the products we're featuring. you're going to be able to see, for example, like, how like when you go on social media, you can share like some of your favorite posts, things like that. This is one way you can post on your storefront. And then you're also going to have, for example, these are featured videos, and then also additional list of things that you like to talk about, for example, or your passions, your interests, and so forth. So that is, in a nutshell, the Amazon Live like process. Very simple. Now, as I mentioned, you could stop right there. And the way you would go live is directly from the Amazon Live mobile device or mobile app. Sorry. So you launch, very simple. So once you're approved, you launch the Amazon Creator app, and then you can go through and you can create basically a show through the Amazon process. And now that show is, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to have, for example, you're going to have a graphic. So at the top, you're going to have a graphic that's going to show up across all your Amazon Live shows. You're going to be able to set things like a start time. You're going to be able to add up to 40 products from the Amazon product catalog. And then in addition to that, let me think what else. You can set a start time. And then the other thing you can do is, if you want to, you can just use your iOS device and go live. Or you can do what we're doing right now, which is we're multi-streaming this out. We're on a desktop using this, and we're using the mobile device to control what products we're featuring in the carousel, responding to comments and so forth. So, so it's a pretty powerful solution overall. Marco, do you want to kind of talk about like, I mean, where do you want to go next on this? So we want to talk about maybe the equipment. What do you want to talk about?
I think we just something a small note about the 40 products.
Sure. Okay.
Have in mind in the range of products you don't need to put the 40 products, okay?
Right.
But have in mind you should own at
75,
least 75% of the product, okay? Because I think Amazon came with this number because there were people talking about products without the knowledge, without having them, without providing good advice and proper advice. So they don't want people to just go to the product page and share and talk about and read what's there, and which you can read as well. Okay. So I think they came with this 75% criteria. So you have the products. And about this, I want to give you my opinion. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Think about this as a business. Okay. So you need to invest. You need to invest in a microphone, which you can talk about, and hopefully people will buy it. Okay. Yeah. And in the long run, you get the return of the investment, because with the commissions you're generating, this will pay off what you're buying as well. Okay, so have this in mind. And also what you can do, you can talk about products that you already bought from Amazon, and I'm pretty sure that you bought lots of them, so you can talk about them, and this is also important. And also something important, don't make kind of a rainbow with your products in the carousel, okay? Like talking about pillows, about knives, about bikes and whatever. Have like a theme to your live show and keep focus there.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about that. So, okay, so you could have, as Marco mentioned, you could have 40 products, up to 40 products in a carousel. And so the way they work, you're going to, like, if you go to launcher.live/EP99, for example, that will show you our Amazon Live video, and underneath it, you're going to see some Amazon products. And so as I'm literally doing this on my phone. So for example, let me pull up so let's say I wanted to talk about the Logitech C920. When I tap, so I'm on my mobile device right now, and as I tap on that product, I got the Amazon Live Creator app open. It is actually showing up directly in the carousel, so people know what we're actually talking about at the time. So, so that's basically the way it works. Like, you basically are featuring a product when you tap on it in the Amazon Live Creator app. When you tap on it, if it's a product you've added to your carousel, it shows up on your live for people to know what you're actually talking about. By the way, I want to give a quick thank you to Tommy and Kalamazoo, by the way, for following us on Amazon. We really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Hello, Tommy.
Tommy, I will answer your question actually as well here. Just if you just give me 1 second, actually, he's wondering about the mic arm stand and our thoughts. So Tommy, if you have a specific question on that, do me a favor, put that in the like what the question is, and I will gladly answer that question. I love gear, I love tools, I love equipment. More than happy to answer that one. So 40 products, up to 40 products. You don't have to have 40. It could be one product. It could be, for example, it could just be the mic you have in your, shot. You do need to own them. They do want you to actually talk about them on the stream. So like, for example, I got the Rode Wireless Go here. I've got we're going to go back to these in a second. This is the Manfrotto the Pixie Manfrotto tripod. Like, we've got lots of products behind me as well that I'm going to actually talk about, but you do need to have, if you're going to have 40 products, you need to own, let's see, let me just do some math here. You need 30. To own 30 of them, and you can just have 10 random ones if you want to. Or if you've got, 30 products, for example, again, 75% of that needs to be owned. Good question, by the way, Tommy. By the way, he's asking about the stand for the Yeti, and we'll talk about that here in 1 second. So you add products to your Amazon carousel, basically, and then when you're ready to go live, if you're in the Amazon Live app, there is a go live button inside the Amazon Live Creator app, and you literally just say go live, and then you could be using this phone to both feature the products and also get the video feed and the audio from your mobile device. Now, one thing you're going to notice is this is kind of limited if you're just using this and you're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. So, you have to have the proper way to mount the phone and so forth. And so speaking of that, let's do this. Let's talk about like if I just wanted to use the phone as my camera and everything else. And I think Tommy, I think you're asking about which arm stand are you asking about? Actually, is the one in the carousel? The reason I ask is because I'll talk about that in relation to Amazon. So
I think it should be the one I'm using right now.
Is it the one you're using or the one I'm using?
Because the one I'm using, it's listed in the carousel.
Yeah.
And it's shown. It's
which one is it? Is it the newer one or the master?
Yeah,
mount?
newer, yes.
Okay. So how about this? Let's tackle Tommy's question. And then I got another one here from Julie as well, asking about owning so many items. So we've got a question coming in from a viewer, and they're asking, is the arm stand more about saving space or does it improve sound quality? So let's look at it from two perspectives. For example, if I happen to have if I'm just going to stream on Amazon Live and this is my main product and I want to have it in front of me and I want to be able to like see it and tap on it and get the camera in the right position and still have my arms free, I can use a boom arm, for example, if I want to. So the answer is it's a combination of the two. It can save space, but it can also improve sound quality as well, depending on what you're using it for. For example, I've got a boom arm right here. Marco, let's bring up your newer boom arm and we'll talk about that.
Okay, let me change the camera. Let's see.
Sure.
Okay, so
Marco's got this.
I'm so burned.
It's okay, man. So Marco's got the newer. He's got the newer Pro microphone boom arm. Now, he can do this a couple things with this. First off, he can attach his microphone.
Yes.
However, he can also attach something like this to it. So if he wants to just use it for like audio recording, it gets the microphone right in front of your face. It gets it off your desk. So to answer Tommy's question, it does save space, but it also can improve sound quality because, for example, if your mic is placed too low and it's on like a table, like let's say it's placed on something like this. This is a little tabletop tripod. If I place it like right here, for example, it's about a little more than a foot from my mouth. And so the problem with this kind of little tripod, if I were to use this to hold my phone or anything or my phone or my microphone, it actually can cause sound issues. The other thing is, if this is on my desk and my microphone is on my desk, as I'm typing or doing any sort of moving around, the microphone is it's picking that sound up. It's picking up the clackety clack of the keyboard. So that is where having something like a boom arm like this is going to be super helpful. So Tommy, to answer your question, yeah. So it does
Both
save
of them,
space,
yes.
but it also
Yes.
can improve the sound quality. Now, what I would suggest though, and Marco, you got the newer product, right? Can you pull that up for me? So Marco is going to pull up the newer product, the newer boom arm. And here's the thing: you can attach. Here, let me pull this up. So you can attach this. You can attach the microphone to this.
Yep.
Like for example, Marco's got like if you had a Blue Yeti, it's great for that. The other
Yep.
thing though that you can do with this is if you happen to have something like this that I have here, this is like a stand. You could also attach a camera, in this case, your phone, directly to the boom arm as well. And then this would actually make it easy if you're using your phone for Amazon Live, it'll let you have the camera right in front of you and have the ability to move it around, have the ability to keep it at eye level so that you can easily access it versus, oh, hey, I got to look off to the phone to access it. So combination of things. You can use the mic arm for audio, saving space, make it easy to access your device, lots of different things. Now, in terms of improving sound quality, the reason we also suggest a lot of these products, for example, this newer one thing you're going to notice right there in that corner, you see how it has that round like wheel in the top corner? A lot of the cheap boom arms, you get what you pay for. So going back to like, if you put the mic stand on a desk and you bumped it and it had a spring in it, you would hear the rattling.
I can show it.
Oh, good. Marco's got one. Good. Yeah. So let me put Marco up full screen here. We'll talk about this.
Let me increase the gain of the microphone.
So Marco's got a cheap boom arm here. And so that is actually the spring vibrating.
Yeah.
So for example, if you happen, I'm going to go back to the question we had from Tommy. He was asking, hey, for the Blue Yeti, if you put the Blue Yeti on the mic arm that has a spring in it, first off, it's probably not going to be strong enough. That's also what you get when you pay for the more expensive boom arms. And then the other thing is when you do need to move the boom arm out of the way, you're going to hear all sorts of noise. If you hit the table, you're going to hear it. If you move, like I'm moving my arm right now. Do you hear that? I'm not hearing any sort of spring because there's no spring in it. So, so that's, so you want to make sure you get a good quality boom arm to support your mic or your phone or whatever. Now, in terms of his question, he was asking, would you remove it from the stand that the Blue Yeti comes on to attach it to the newer arm? Yes. So on the bottom of the Blue Yeti, do you have a Blue Yeti, Marco?
No, I don't.
Okay. I used to have one. I got rid of it. But on the bottom of the Blue Yeti, there is a thread. And so, Marco, let's do this. So you see that 5/8 screw option there on the, let's see if we can find the picture of it.
I think it is.
So let's do this. Zoom in on that piece. Yes. So the piece that is sticking down, not the cable, the actual pin that's sticking down, that actually will plug in. That will screw into the bottom of your Blue Yeti. So your Blue Yeti's got a thread on the bottom. It should screw directly into it. Sometimes you may need a thread, but it does have one for that. So you basically take the Blue Yeti off the stand. So on the stand, there's so for example, there's two little screws on the side. You unscrew those, you take the Blue Yeti out. You can then support it on the newer stand, for example. And yes, it would then allow you to attach that mic if you were streaming, for example, from a computer over to Amazon.
Yep.
The other thing you can also do, it does have a thread. So let me go back to that real quick and show you this. So Marco, let's show what's in the, I think it's the third photo there. So we're going to pull up the third photo. And so you see how it has this 5/8 to 3/8 screw. If you wanted to also use this arm to, for example, let's say you wanted to stream on just your mobile device, you buy the newer arm and you can attach one of these. This is a shoulder pod attachment for smartphones, and you basically just attach it like this, right there, and that would actually plug it. This would screw into the bottom of your what do you call it? It would screw into the bottom of your mount, and then you'd have the ability to keep the camera right there in front of you. So I hope that answers your question, Tommy. Thanks a lot. Again, so if you're just streaming to Amazon, you can go live with just your phone. You do need to feature 40 products, or you can feature up to 40 products. You need to own at least 75% of them. So once you're approved, you just add products directly in the Amazon Live Creator app. And then another cool, and then once you've done that, that will then put those products in your Amazon Live show. And so then if you want to feature them during your stream, all you have to do is click on them, tap on them from the mobile app, for example. So that's like bare bones what you need to do to get started. I do want to go back to Julie's question, by the way, as well. So she asked, because you have so many, because you have to have or own so many items, won't most streams end up being the same? I don't think so. So it comes down to also how you structure your show. For example, if you're doing a live stream and it's all, like in this case, I talk about live streaming gear and equipment. We always talk about not fearing the gear, because here's the thing, the gear can help you. But for a lot of people, like, the show does not have to always be about the same thing, but you can feature certain things because, for example, it doesn't matter what live stream I do. I get questions from people. They want to know what camera you're using, what microphone are you using, for example. So I could theoretically put that in every single one of my streams. You don't have to have 40 products. You can have up to 40, and you have to own at least 75% of them, which is 30. Okay. So, yeah.
Let me add just something else. One of the things there's 3 levels of influencers on Amazon. When you start your rising star, once you get 90 minutes, you can and good videos, you get the possibility to apply to the insider level. Okay, and once you're an insider, you will appear hopefully on products page you're featuring in your carousel. So this means you will appear to people which are looking for your products on Amazon. Because one of the things you should have in mind, and this is a main difference between Amazon Live and Facebook Live, YouTube Live and Instagram Live, it's most of the times you won't have the same audience in front of you. Okay, so what it means that, for instance, today we are talking about this microphone for some people, and if we are talking about the same microphone, for instance, tomorrow or next Monday, maybe or almost for sure, you won't be talking to the same people. Okay, because people come, let me see, I want a microphone, let me see, Shure MV7. Okay, you get into the products page and you see there, they are talking live about this product, let me check. So this is something important as well. And the other thing, and I like to think about this, is if you keep a not so broader range of products on your spectrum of talked products, you will be more proficient on that. You will know more about the products. Okay, so you will be a better advisor. So this is one of the cases where quality comes from less quantity. Okay.
No, absolutely. And it also goes back to like what you and I were talking about, Marco, is you need to be engaging. So it's going to come back to, it's going to be it's the same. I don't say the same. It's very similar. For example, if you're on YouTube and you're like, you know what? Hey, how do I get people to watch my videos? You put a good title in there. You put a good description about the show. You put a good thumbnail up. On Amazon, it's very similar. You put a good title, for example. You put a good graphic that represents what you're going to talk about. In addition to that, the other things you need to do, just like on all the other platforms, you are building an audience, you're building a community. So for example, if you've already got a community on other platforms and you're going to do Amazon Live, you could direct them over to Amazon. So for example, if they go to amazon.com/shop/Christian Karasiewicz, then they will get access to my shop page and they can follow us. So, for example, if they go and do that, again, it's very similar, like the model. Like if I'm doing YouTube or I'm doing Amazon Live, I got audiences on both. The great thing about the Amazon Live side is that you don't necessarily have the same audience. There's not a lot of audience overlap. For example, people that go to Amazon may go and may subscribe to you because, they may go to Amazon and follow you because they like the fact that you're a super knowledgeable person. You're a good sales rep, basically, for a company or a product. You could go over to YouTube and people may subscribe to you there because your tutorials are easy to follow, but they may not be shoppers over on Amazon. Does it make sense? So the great thing is the great equalizer, I think, here is that whereas with like YouTube, if somebody wants to go there, they have to actually they subscribe to your channel. It's harder to actually generate revenue over there, because you have things like ads and whatnot. With Amazon, you've got people that already want to buy the stuff that you already supposedly know and own, and you're talking about it and you're teaching something and showing them how to do it or demonstrating something, for example, or, upselling like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do a cooking show and I'm going to show you how to make something. And this is the stuff that I use to make it. Doesn't have to be just the food ingredients. It could be the mixture you use, the pans you're using, the spatula. So it could be all that stuff, but it still comes back to making sure that it's related to what your show is about. So to answer, to go back to Julie's question, because you have to own so many items, won't most streams end up being the same? I don't think so.
Yeah.
They may. And here's the other thing. The thing that's going to differentiate them are the people. It's you.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So,
because you can change the whole range of 40 products from show to show. Yeah. And your show could be really boring, or you can have the same 5 products in whole shows and make an amazing show.
Exactly. So let's do it. And I want to get to this other question we have, which is about generating revenue, but I want to talk about equipment. So obviously, we said that number one, you need to apply. Let me give you the instructions again. Apply the Amazon Associates program. Next thing is get an iOS device, download the Amazon Live Creator app, apply to the Creator app. And then the 5th step is basically just start creating an Amazon Live show from your mobile app. And then at that point, you can add the products. It's very, very, very straightforward. And so I want to talk about the equipment. So if that's all you had, you could go live on your phone right now, provided you're approved, obviously. So off of that, let's talk about like some of the base equipment that people should get, Marco. So that's if you want to do just mobile. So the cool thing is, like, we're streaming, for example, right now to Amazon Live, but we're going through StreamYard. And so, for that, you can go to launcher.live/go/StreamYard, and you can check out the product. It's free to download. Free to download. It's free to sign up for because there is no download. And so basically, we're doing all the Amazon Live stuff from mobile on our desktop. And now what this does is this opens up the door for you like tremendously. Yeah. So for example, instead of having to have your phone and trying to manage everything right there, you can do it that way. You would use the phone, the iOS device, to set up the Amazon Live show, add your products to whatever the episode is. And then now we can actually go live on a computer and push it over to the phone to go live. So Marco, let's do this. Let's talk about some products that people should consider getting for their Amazon Live show if they want to stream on desktop. So where do you think we need to start, by the way?
Okay, maybe with the brain.
The brain. I love this. Okay, so what's so important about the brain? While I go get the brain.
Okay, have in mind that everything that happens, needs a good machine to be processed. Okay, to be thrown to internet. So if you don't have a computer, even though your camera is amazing, even though your lights are amazing, even though your microphone is amazing, the end result will be a mess. Okay, so have in mind it's something that you really need to be good. Okay, and this Mac Mini, it's a good a really good option. The M1 chip, it's something amazing, and I'm looking forward to have one for me because I'm a PC guy. So have in mind, it's really important to have a good machine, and also you with this machine, you don't need to sell your car, your house to buy it. Okay, so could be a nice option, affordable option, but a good option.
Okay, so let's. So this is the Mac Mini, and so these are how much are these, Marco? Like I think we got a product here. Let me pull that. There you go. So Mac Mini, they have a base model, and you're probably wondering, well, hey, this is like it's 256 gigs. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. That doesn't seem like a lot, but I got to tell you, this machine flies. And so you can get started with this base model. It's a great product to start with for your live streams. And I love how Marco mentioned it's all about the brain of the operations. And the brain isn't just you. It's you gotta have the equipment that you can use for your stream. And so this, for example, the great thing about this is it has Ethernet, it's got an HDMI port, it's got USB-A, USB-C. So it can run up to one monitor at a time. And it's a super, super, super powerful machine. It's got, as you can see, there's the ports on the back. You are going to have to supply your own keyboard, mouse, and monitor, but this does range. It's about $500, $600, I think. So that's for the base model. And this thing, it's so powerful, but you got to start with the brain of the operations. So if you have been using the computer for like, even 5 years, upgrade to something, for example, like this. It can sit on your desk. You can even mount this thing underneath your desk and have a big monitor if you want to.
Yep.
Okay. So what other things do I need to consider, Marco, for so that's the Mac Mini. So I need a good brain for my operation here. What other equipment do I need to look at?
Well, a microphone as well.
Okay. Microphone.
And again,
yes. So let's do this.
Microphone, it's audio.
Yes, gotta have good audio.
Crucial thing as well, because you want to be heard, you want to be understood, and without a good microphone, you won't be able to do that. But before that, let's talk about something that you love.
What is that? What is this?
The Rocketbook.
Yes. So
because it's also important to put your ideas in a paper, to get them and to write them down, because I have this, and I talk by myself. It's not just easy talk. It's because sometimes nice idea. I don't write the idea down, and in 5 minutes, the idea is gone.
Yeah. And so as Marco, so let me show you. So this is the Rocketbook, by the way. Looks like just a standard little notebook. You're probably wondering, well, hey, why am I so in love with this product, right? First off, I've been using it for years. But for example, you can have the best computer in the world, right? But you got to capture all those ideas and execute on them. And so the thing I really like about this Rocketbook is basically you can write and erase in this notebook, not like with an eraser. It actually has, so for example, this is the paper here. So this is what the paper looks like. It has QR codes in the bottom corner here. It comes with a pilot friction pen. And then what's great about it is that as I am over here using this, for example, one thing I can also do here is it comes with a cleaning cloth. And so I can write in it, and I can literally I wet this a little bit and then just wipe it right off. And then now I have a reusable notebook, which is pretty amazing. But the great thing about this notebook, what makes it so amazing, is that as you are writing in this notebook, you can then digitize what's in this notebook as well, because they have an app that you scan the QR code with. And so when you scan the QR code, it can connect to all sorts of services. So it can connect, for example, directly to Google Drive, Dropbox, email, for example. I could set it up to where it emails to Marco, an idea that I have. It also does handwriting recognition as well. And you can bundle your notes as well. So that's this is the Rocketbook, by the way, the Rocketbook Mini. This also comes with it, by the way. This is just the quick little instruction sheet that comes with it. So in terms of, so Tommy's got a great question. He's asking hey, can you print directly from the Rocketbook or dictate to a Rocketbook? The answer is no. It's for capturing your actual handwritten notes. So you basically handwrite in the notebook, and then once you've done that, you are then able to scan it with their mobile app, and it then digitizes anything you take down. So whether it's a drawing you make, whether it is an outline of a list of things you need to get done, the steps that we're doing today, for example, for Amazon, show ideas, it basically stores all of that stuff in whatever connected service you have. So in terms of dictating, yeah, it's not for recording your voice. It's for actually writing down the notes. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is the Rocketbook notebook here. So as you can see here, I mean, it's about $13, but the great thing is it's reusable. It comes in a lot of different colors. Comes with the cloth. It comes with the pen. You can buy different colors. They have different sizes. It's one of my favorite products to use for capturing any of my information when I'm live streaming. So that's the Rocketbook. So we talked about equipment, notebook, computer. What else, Marco, do I need to consider when I'm going to?
Now I think we can talk about audio. Because it's really important as well.
Okay.
And
so what other clip? Yeah. So, okay. So we talked computer. You got to have a good computer to get started. You need to have a place to take some ideas. What kind of mic do you want to talk about?
Well, I can talk about my own Shure
Sure.
MV7.
What are you using?
I'm using the Shure MV7. It's a great microphone.
Okay.
It's not one of the most affordables in the market, but one of the things I like about it is, besides the sound, and this is something that it's the main thing about a microphone.
Okay.
One of the things it's good. It's a kind of a hybrid microphone, which means you can use it as a USB microphone, so you don't need to buy at the beginning the mixer. Okay.
Yep.
And then you can use it as an XLR microphone as well. Okay. Cool. So Shure came with a software which allows you to make the work of a mixer. Okay, so with this you will save, I don't know, maybe $100 or even more dollars when you buy this microphone. Okay, so this is a really good option. And it has also a good look. It has a good design, even though I don't show it most of it. But it's also something that I like. It's a really sturdy microphone, and I think one of the things I like about products is when they look sturdy and they feel sturdy, because it's good.
Definitely. So Marco is going to bring up the Shure MV7 and we can show you all what that looks like. So this is the Shure MV7. And here's the thing, you don't need this mic to get started, but if you do want to broadcast from your desktop and you want a high quality mic, this is a great mic. As you can see, it can attach to a boom arm here. It also can connect via USB, which means you don't have to have that mixer that Marco was mentioning, but it does afford you the ability to go from USB up to XLR as well, if you want to get into doing that at some point.
Yes.
So that is the Shure MV7. By the way, do me a favor, scroll back up real quick. So, as Marco, we were talking about setting up your Amazon Live and tapping into Amazon Live shopping. Keep going up to the featured videos.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
So there you go. There we are on this live stream as people are able to view the product. Pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
So that is one option. If you want to go with the Shure MV7 because you want a good mic for your desktop, that's a great option. Let's also do this. If somebody I'm going to go to a more expensive option, and I'm only going to do that because I want to kind of demonstrate a point here. So you can also go to the Rode Wireless Go, which is this right here, by the way. So I'm going to show you guys these. So these are the Rode Wireless Go. And so if you're somebody who wants to, if you want to be wireless when you're streaming and you're doing an Amazon Live and you're giving a product demonstration, the downside to that Shure MV7 is that if you're sitting at your desk, it's fine. But if you're somebody who needs to move around, you want to consider something like this. This is the Rode Wireless Go. And basically what this does is it one clips to you, one connects to your computer, and then now you can have a wireless audio connection and you can use these. And it's a great product, the Rode Wireless Go, especially for using it for Amazon Live. The other thing is you can also plug this into a mobile device as well. So if you have the Rode Wireless Go, they make a 1 and a 2 model. I would recommend getting the Rode Wireless Go 2. It has 2 receivers. So it's got so you can have 2 people on it, and it's got 2 people on it, and it's got one that actually acts as the receiver there. And so one of them plugs into your computer, and then the other 2 signals, like Marco and I could be in the same room talking on the microphone and giving demonstrations over on Amazon Live if we want to. So this is what the Rode Wireless Go 2 looks like. It's a little bit expensive, or it seems like it's expensive. It's about $280. But the great thing is you can plug it into your laptop. You can have a good quality wireless mic. You don't have to have a boom arm, none of that stuff. You can move around freely. You can connect it into a mobile device as well if you want to. It's just overall a fantastic microphone. And if you want to, you can even connect the lavalier mic to it as well. If you want to also use it for creating courses or any of that kind of stuff that you're doing. So that is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Again, we're kind of taking things up a notch, each time. So another thing I want to talk about real quick. So we talked about how do you position your camera on screen? So the great thing about, using the desktop, for example, to broadcast to Amazon Live is that it affords you the ability to use multiple cameras. Like you can use a DSLR camera, you can use a Logitech C920, you can use the built-in webcam on your computer. All of that will work. The other thing you can also do is, if you want to have different angles for a product, you could have the main camera and you could have a second camera. And this is the Manfrotto Pixie mini tripod. And so I'll show you this, and I'm going to talk about why you may want to use this, but you may want a better solution. So this is the Manfrotto Pixie tripod. And so this is, so here's the thing. This is a great tripod if you're somebody who, you want to put a second camera on your desk and keep it focused on a product. The only thing I don't like about this though is that it extends, but that's about as much as it extends. It's not very much. So if you're somebody who wanted to put a second product, a second camera on this, like a mobile device or a tablet or something, you can use this product for that, but it's not very tall. So the problem you're going to run into is, it's not very strong. I don't think it's sturdy enough to support a DSLR camera. You could attach a Logitech C920 if you want to. You could attach a smartphone to it, but it doesn't get high enough to where I can have the camera and look into it, or use it as a top-down option if I'm over there wanting to show me opening the product or things like that, or demonstrate cooking something. For that, what I would strongly encourage people to do is I'd recommend this master mount. So I'm going to show you guys this. So for those of you who want to, if you want you want to get do a product demo or things like that, you're going to want something like this. This is the master mount that is made by Elgato. Let me know if you have that pulled up, Marco, and I'll.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. So Marco's got it pulled up, and it's pretty cool. It basically clamps to a desk, and then you can use it to move the camera and position it over top, looking down at what you're doing. So it's a pretty amazing little tripod. Or I would say tripod. It can hold microphones, it can hold cameras. Let's do this. Zoom in. Actually, go to the second picture, Marco. So yeah, let's go to that one. So the great thing about this is it basically is this telescoping mount, and it can then come out, and you can attach a camera to it. You could attach a microphone. You could have multiple ones of these attached to your desk if you want to as well. And then if you go to the third picture, let's show another thing you can do with it. Another cool thing about this, let's zoom in on that picture because this is a pretty good picture. This demonstrates the mastermind, I think, a little bit better. So basically, you can have one attached to your desk for connecting a camera, and then you can have another one attached for a light. So this way, you're getting enough light on the products that you're talking about. So this is a pretty cool product. I love this product. I have multiple ones of these. Right now it's holding my DSLR camera. But you know, this is the large master mount. And as Marco shows you there, it can connect directly to your desk. So I gotta say, so if you're somebody looking for like an easy way to mount a camera or microphone or anything like that, definitely check out the master mount. You have any feedback on that one, Marco?
Well, I have 3 mounts in my desk, even though they are different. They are also listed in the Carousel. Okay, so I think I can show you how it looks. Okay, so I have here one.
Yeah. So Marco,
holding my
yeah,
my camera, which is giving this angle. Okay, when I want to show or review some product. Okay, I have this one with my DSLR camera.
Okay.
And I have this one holding my ring light. So this is a good way to keep things in your desk. And the good thing is that, for instance, I can just put it up and down easily. And adjust things easily. So you can take advantage of them as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so this is the thing I really like about that master mount system, by the way, is that it's sturdy enough to support a DSLR camera. You can use it to support your Blue Yeti, you know, but the great thing is that it makes it easy. Like typically if somebody were going to have multiple cameras, what a lot of people do is they buy a ring light and they attach their camera to the ring light. And the problem is that to move the camera forward, to move it up, down, etc., you have to position the ring light closer to you. And well, that's kind of hard because typically they're on a tripod or things like that, or, you know, or it's sort of like not sturdy. And so that's what I really like about the master mount. It's super, super, super sturdy. Here, I'll actually open it real quick. So this is the master mount. I mean, it's like super, super, super sturdy. Like it's got a very strong clamp here. It's not going to damage your desk as well. And then this is the head that I was talking about. Like you literally just undo these. And so you can like telescope these out. And then it has, as I mentioned, the head on it. So basically this one can, it can rotate. It's a ball head. So it can rotate. You can, then position these in the angle that you want when you're going to use it, for your cameras or whatever items you want to actually put on it. So it's a great product, actually. So it's pretty amazing for mounting your cameras, mounting mics, mounting a light, anything like that. So speaking of lighting, Marco.
Yes.
So let's talk about lighting real quick. So, you've got people have lots of options for lighting that they can go with. I'm going to recommend, my personal recommendation is something like the Elgato Key Light. And so I'm going to show you all what that looks like. So this is, by the way, this is a really good deal. So this is the Key Light, and you're going to notice something. So this is the Key Light. Let's show you how thick this is. So these are super bright. You really only need one of these to light a scene. I have two right now. This is the third one in my hand. And if I turn these on, let me actually do that real quick. You're going to see how strong that light is. By the way, remember, if you're watching, all you have to do is go to launcher.live, or if you're listening and you want to watch what we're doing, just go to launcher.live/EP99. And so these are two key lights right now set up, and they're at 12%. So it's a lot of light coming in. So you do have to kind of keep that in mind. That's just two. So you really only need one. But this is the Key Light. And as you can see, it's like super, super thin product. And then overall, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing light that you can use for your Amazon Live demonstrations. The other great thing is, as Marco was showing with the master mount, you can mount these. They don't have to be straight up facing you like that all the time. It's an LED panel. You can mount them this way, for example. The other thing also about these is if you look on the different edges of them, so they have let's see if I can show you. So on the right here, they have a mount on every single side. So it's right there.
Great.
Here's the third one. I think I spun it backwards, but basically you get the idea. Every single side has a mount. Now, what's cool about that, that means you can put them this way. You can put them this way. You can put them away from you if you want to create different lighting for your scenes. So that is the Elgato Key Light. And I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to pull up the product. So this is the Key Light. Now, the other thing that's amazing about this is that the Key Light also comes with the master mount. So if you go up to the, like, it comes with the mounting hardware. So it comes with, as you can see there, the mount. So, and they're super lightweight, they're super bright, and they're super sturdy. So from a cost standpoint, this is it's a very good product for what you're paying for. So you're getting a great light. You're getting a light that you can actually adjust, by the way. So it does have some controls that you can access on your computer. You can adjust them. And then if you're going to use this for Amazon Live, it is great for that, for lighting your products and things like that you're going to talk about. So again, all this equipment we're talking about, like, these are things you don't need, but if you're doing Amazon Live, these are great to help you do better productions. So, so that's the master mount. That's the Elgato Key Light. And then the other product, if you're going to, you might as well stay in the Elgato family. The other product you should check out, if you happen to get the Elgato Key Light or the master mount, you should consider getting a Stream Deck as well. And Marco was kind of demonstrating some of this earlier. And so this is the Stream Deck. And so the Stream Deck is basically, it's a whole bunch of touch buttons, like physical buttons. And what you can do with it is you can use it to perform different actions. So for example, if you're using Amazon Live, and let's say you were using a tool like OBS with it, you would be able to switch scenes using OBS with the Elgato Stream Deck. If you're using StreamYard, for example, as well, there's the ability to switch some of the different views as well that are there, built into that as well. So, so you get a very powerful tool. So, Marco, can you kind of talk about some of the things you can do with this Stream Deck?
Well, one of the things I like to do, as you mentioned, is to change the scenes. For instance, I showed you. Okay, so there you have my Stream Deck. Okay, and I want to change. Okay, I want this wide angle. Hello, see ya. So I like to use this, and it's really easy to do. Okay, another thing I like to do with this is bringing sound effects. For instance, I have a new follower on Amazon, so I hit a particular button so I can give a shout out to them, which is good as well. You can set buttons to send a tweet. For instance, today I'm going live. Follow me or join me on Amazon as well. Okay, you can have a kind of a preset tweet, so you can send it when you're starting or some minutes earlier. So you don't have to do everything over again and again. So you can automate some actions with Stream Deck, like changing scenes, bringing sounds. Also, you can create some macros if you have the products from Elgato. For instance, one of the things you can do, you have a new follower, you want to have this sound effect and also some effects with lights. If you have Elgato lights, you can do that as well, which is good. So the thing about the Stream Deck is that it will spark your creativity. Okay, and I was somehow resistant to buy it. Once I got it, I fell in love and I use them a lot. So to give more features and possibilities to my broadcast.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing people need to realize, like, the Stream Deck can really help you with your Amazon Live production as well. So it can help you make it more, it can help you improve it, first of all. But at the same time, it also makes it easy to recognize, for example, certain things like if you have a new follower, you want to even promote the show. It's a great way for you to get the word out about that as well, because you can program it to do pretty much anything you want. If you want to have it compose tweets, you can do that. If you want to have it help you stay on time, like you could do that. You can play background music with it. So it's a really amazing product, because it's not just for live streaming. It's for Amazon Live. You can use it for even your work, anything you're doing. So absolutely love the Elgato Stream Deck. Okay.
And one of the things I want to highlight as well, even though we only have maximum 32 keys, you can create different decks. Okay, for instance, 32 different. Okay, you should not use the whole range of keys, but for instance, 30 different scenes, 30 different sound effects, or even more, because now creating pages, you can slide from one page to another in the same kind of feature. Okay, like for instance, sound effects. You want to have 60 sound effects. Instead of creating 2 different decks, you can create just only one deck with 2 pages where you can navigate through one and another easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And so again, it's a must-have piece of equipment. You don't need it, but it's a must-have, because once you start using it, you're going to realize how much time it can save you with doing things. Even if it's something as simple as just typing out your name to respond to a comment. You can program that in the button. You push it, it puts the text right in. It can put the text in with a certain emoji. Done. So very, very, very valuable tool to help you, if you're going to be doing any sort of Amazon Live shopping or selling, you want to tap into that. Okay. The other thing, just a couple other items we want to talk about real quick, in terms of again, you don't need all of this stuff, but these are some very good basic things that you need to help you get started with your streams and produce high quality streams. So we talked about mics, we talked about the importance of audio, we talked about mounting your cameras, having, if you're demonstrating something, having a mount to where you can look down at the item without having to look at your camera and then be like, hey, let me show you how I'm doing this. It's super easy to do that. The other thing you should definitely look at investing in, headphones. And Marco, I think you have a pair you want to talk about, right?
Yes, we were talking so much about this Mi Audio M6, okay, and I was curious. I was willing that Spanish Amazon could have them, but they didn't, and I wanted to have one because I was using this one, and even though they have good sound, okay, and as usual, it's the main feature when we talk about audio devices is having a good sound. They have a good sound, okay. The problem was they were not that low profile as this one, and also they were popping all the time, okay. And so I had to plugging them once again and again. And with this, they, besides having a good sound, besides they look really low profile and neat, okay. I put them at the beginning of the show and they stay there. Nice. So this is a really good option that you should consider. Also, they have here, I don't know how we call this thing that allows you to adjust in the back of your head, so they will stay there without moving.
Yeah. So no, that's a great point, actually. Yeah. And so again, you want to make sure you invest in the right types, in at least a good pair of headphones. So I would say this: if this is all you have, if you've got the earpods, let's just phrase them right. If you've got the earpods, you could use these for your live streams. You're going to probably want longer ones, by the way. So if you need to do demonstrations, things like that, these aren't very, they're not long enough. You could also get things like this. These are Apple AirPods. I don't recommend using these for live streaming just because the quality is usually not very good for streaming. You'll notice if you actually listen on the other end, not plug them in and listen, but actually go and listen to your show, you'll hear the audio is probably going to be very noisy to the other person on the other end. So you have to keep that in mind. So what we'd recommend is having some good headphones that go in ear For example, like the ones Marco suggested. Marco, do me a favor. Can you bring those up in the on the screen? So Marco's got the Mi Audio M6 Pro model, and these are about well, the great thing about these actually is first off, they actually can detach. So if you ever need to like replace the cable, it's easy to do that versus having to throw the whole pair of headphones in the trash and buy a new pair. So that's the Mi Audio ones. They come in different colors. And for example, I'd get the clear ones only because they then can go in your ear and then they kind of can be just very sleek and you can look very low profile on screen.
Yeah.
But again, you do need a pair of headphones if you're going to be doing any sort of Amazon Live, just so you can hear the audio, because you could have a producer talking to you. You may want to hear like for example, Marco and I, if he took his headphones out, he couldn't hear me. So you want to make sure he has those, and you can pair them with the Rode Wireless Go, for example, as well. If you get these, you simply can just plug them in, put them in your pocket at that point, and you've got a very powerful tool to be able to capture the audio, but also listen to it as well. So you definitely want to get some headphones. And then the last thing we want to talk about actually in terms of like how do you make better Amazon Live shows? Marco, do me a favor. Let's pull up that background. So a lot of people, you can go with like, I've got a physical background or Marco's got a physical background. Like that's easy. You could set this up, build a certain look. Like I'm not anywhere near finished with this, by the way. And so you can build a certain look, or if you want a good, quick way to get started with something like this, I would recommend buying something like this. This is literally just a black backdrop. You make sure it's big enough so that you could be on screen moving around. Of course, like if you were wearing black on black, you wouldn't want to do that. But what you can do is it can actually add depth. It can add a nice pop to the look of your Amazon Live. So this way, if you're doing a product demonstration or things like that, you're able to actually show this on screen and people can see what it actually looks like versus like right now, if I were doing things with, I've got like, this is probably not as hard. I mean, hey, I've got you can see that there's a Rode Wireless Go carrying case, but if I had a very dark scene like Marco's got there right now, for example, it'd be hard for you to see this on the black background. So you do have to kind of think about like, it can be a great way to clean up your environment. We also have to think about what the types of things are you're going to be showing. But I would recommend getting a backdrop, and there are multiple ones here. You could even just do a green screen, or there's a solid white or a solid black option. But the great thing is, think of it like this. This is your studio you're setting up. So if you're doing a product demonstration, you want to have a table in front of you. You want to have different cameras set up right there so that one could be facing you. One could be looking down at the product. You're mic'd up with the Rode Wireless Go, for example, so you're able to move around, you're able to switch scenes, all that kind of stuff. So would strongly recommend that. So I just have a couple of other quick points, by the way, Marco, that we should probably talk about here. And so we talked about like the equipment people need, but let's just quickly touch on a couple of things. So in terms of revenue, the way that all this works is the products that you feature in the carousel, like everything gets various percentages on them. It could be 1%, 3%, 6%. It really depends. And so if somebody watches your Amazon Live show and they click on a product, you essentially get cookie to them for, what is it, 24 hours, I think, Marco?
Yes, 1 day.
So you get cookie to them. And what that means is that then anything they buy. So let's say our good friend NLTMW, who's watching here, says he loves the Mi Audio ones. Let's say he's watching our Amazon Live at launcher.live/EP99, and he clicks on the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro that we have listed. Say he clicks on that. When he clicks on it, what's going to happen is it's going to cookie him to us for 24 hours. And then at that point, we would then make commissions off of anything that he was potentially like buying. And that could be, he could buy that. He could even say, hey, you know what? He does 3D printing. He could be like, you know what? I need new, he needs new plastic for the 3D printing, for example. So if he bought some of that, then we would benefit from that as well. He would be benefit obviously from the information, but we'd benefit from the additional purchases he made. So you'd get a small percentage from those sales. Yeah. And so that's a great way you can generate revenue from your live streams. So you want to make sure, again, as Marco mentioned, that you're putting things in the carousel that are, attractive to your customers, ones that you own, but don't feel like, oh, I'm only going to make commissions off of these, 5 items or one item that I list.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
whatever people click through and then potentially buy. So that's one thing we want to make sure we cover. And then, Marco, do you have any additional tips for Amazon Live?
Be engaging. One of the things it's important is and answer the questions of the audience. Also talk about products that you really know what you're talking about to make the really difference. And this is when people will follow you because they will get good advices from you, and hopefully they will buy from you. Okay,
Yep.
instead of talking about everything about whatever and just going. And again, this is something that we see everywhere. People who goes in the seek of the new shining star. Okay, don't do that. Just okay, if you know a lot about live streaming, talk about live streaming. If you know a lot about cooking, talk about cooking. If you know about cars, talk about cars, because that knowledge you have will make the difference. That's what will generate sales, which generates followers as well. So have this in mind. And one of the good things about, and the biggest challenge on Amazon, it's to become a lister. And you only can apply, and I am not saying you will become an A-lister, is you can apply to a A-lister once you get 2,000 followers. And believe me,
Yep.
it's really hard to get.
It is very
there.
hard. Yes. It's super hard.
And people only follows you if you're providing good information. So if you're talking about in the same live show about pets, about fishing, about pillows and whatever, I'm pretty sure that it will be hard for you to be good on that, and also for people to understand what's your expertise.
Yes, absolutely. No, that's very true. So make sure, again, it's not about we talked about this at the beginning. It's not about the quantity of products you add, the price of the products you add. It's about the quality that you bring to the Amazon Live. And so the key things you got to take away there. So make sure you're talking about things that you're passionate about. So it doesn't it's easy to come up with a show. It's harder to be, I think, entertaining to people. And so I would say this, don't get discouraged. First off, if you do a show and, nobody really tunes in, or you don't make any sales or generate revenue from it, again, it's a process. So do a show, see how it works. Maybe it doesn't have to be 2 hours long, or maybe it doesn't have to be, you don't want to be like 15 minutes. You want to make sure there's enough time for people to get there and, learn more about the product. But so make sure that you are developing a good, high quality show and that you're talking about things that you know about and letting your expertise shine through. That's the other thing. So I love that tip from Marco. Another thing we also talked about, Marco, we mentioned about you can have up to 40 products. You have to own up to 75% of those products. That's 30 products. So 10 of them could be things you don't own. If you don't own them, how do you acquire them? Buy them. For example, if you're building your business or you're wanting to get into live streaming, buy some of the equipment that you're going to need and then talk about some of that on the stream. That could be even a show. That could be an episode right there where you talk about that. Another couple other tips that I have, I guess, would be, and I want to tap into a question Tommy had. He says, when you're streaming live with your show, what do you do with a very negative person? I think the first thing would be ignore it. Don't let it, if you put the spotlight on them, there's only so much that you can do to kind of get them to stop. And so, for example, if you do get somebody on your streams and they're asking, they're being very negative, things like that, hopefully if you built a community up, your community will come to your aid and actually help you with that. So they might throw out better comments, things like that, and push them further down. The other thing also is just, really don't acknowledge it, because when you do acknowledge it, you're sort of also showing weakness in a way. You're showing, hey, you know what? I'm letting that bother me. So just keep that in mind. If you happen to get that on Amazon Live, for example.
If you don't mind, you have an easier way. There's a mute button that you can use. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
So
even easier.
yeah, you got that. And then I think the other thing also for Amazon Live, I don't think it's as important, but consistency in the sense that if you're going to go live every week, go live every week. But I don't think you need to go live a ton. I think it's, go live, test some things out, see what works, see what doesn't work, and then refine your process. That I think is like probably the most important part is be open to changing and adjusting. And, as you're doing this show, if you're seeing things aren't working, maybe like there's no magic time, for example. Remember, people are always buying things. So again, you want to make sure that it's coming back to, you got to provide the best value that you can. So I think my tip for that would be go on Amazon, look at the products. Like if you go and look at like one of the cameras, like we showed you earlier, we were featured on some of those product pages. Like I think it was the Elgato Stream Deck or the Key Light. Look at, for example, the ones that are getting featured, look at them and see what their streams are like and see if there's certain ways that they're doing things. So for example, if you're not comfortable on camera, maybe you need to, before you go live, maybe you need to go take some classes on being, confident on camera, or classes to help you with, hey, how do I like fix my camera presence? Like, how do I position myself so that I look like I know what I'm doing? For example, if you're giving product demonstrations and you're not good at product demonstrations and you've never done them before, first off, don't worry if they don't go right, but also consider bringing in a resource. Ask somebody else who's doing product demonstrations. Hey, can you show me how you set things up, for example, or how do you manage all of this? For example, if they're a one person show, learn from them and then adapt that to what you're doing and apply it to whatever topic you're discussing. So are there any other tips you want to share, Marco, on how people get started with Amazon Live?
Again, one of the things, and mostly about the topic you mentioned, doing things for the first time, prepare yourself. Okay. You don't need to go live to make it a kind of unpacking or unboxing or a review of a product. Okay. You can watch, because there are tons of them on YouTube, product reviews, unboxings, and these kind of things. You can set a couple of ideas. And also you can prepare, you go to your desk, you start talking to a camera without being live, and you are just recording. And at the end, you can look back and see how it goes. And if it's not okay, you can repeat, you can do it over again. So you don't need to go for the first time unboxing live. Okay. Because again, preparation is key.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love that point. Yeah. About preparing. And I want to answer one last question, by the way, that came in from a viewer just now. And this is a good question, actually. It was about like, so we talked about like, you could have up to 40 products in the carousel. This is again from Tommy in Kalamazoo saying, hey, do the items in your carousel work together? So if I buy one product with it, will it work with another in the carousel? So if I were building my carousel of products, I would potentially put related items. For example, I would put something like, let's say it's a Shure MV7 that we talked about earlier. And then I would maybe add an XLR cable because, hey, they're going to need an XLR cable. Oh yeah, they're going to also need a boom arm. So I may want to put that in the carousel as well. So you want to be strategic about what you're adding, but you don't have to feel like you have to keep yourself in such a tight box that everything has to be related. It does not have to be related. Meaning every product you add doesn't have to be related to one another. I would, though, try and relate them to your show so that they make sense, so that you can find the right times to bring them up. So, for example, for this show, we always have other products in our carousel, but for this one, we tailored it specifically to the ones that we knew people would want to actually have when they are using Amazon Live, when they're learning how to get set up for Amazon Live. Like they need the basic things. They need an iOS device, an iPad mini, an iPhone. They need a computer, for example, if they want to do Amazon Live on desktop. So we added a computer, for example. They don't need every mic. They need one or two mic options. They need a mount to put their camera in front of them. They need a light. But your products just overall, like they could work with one another in the carousel, but They don't have to. You weave them into what the narrative is of the show. So with that, Marco, this has been actually a lot of fun. I mean, even though it's been a long episode today, I want to thank you for sticking with me on this one. And
thank you for having me.
We're gonna be back.
Pleasure.
We're gonna be back next week, I think, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna be back next week, very likely at the same time. We're gonna work on that, and we'll let you guys know, let you all know what the topic's gonna be. But do us a favor. In the meantime, be sure you go and follow us on Amazon. So, for example, if you just go to amazon.com/shop/my name, I probably should have made that easier, right, Marco? But if they go there, you'll be able to see our storefront, and you'll be able to go and follow the channel so that you get notified when we are going live next week and what the topic's going to be. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, so with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to episode 99 of the Launch Your Live show. We're nearing magic episode number 100, actually. So we talked about Amazon Live shopping, how you can easily get started. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. More than happy to answer them. But with that, we will see you all on a future episode. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.
Bye.